Thanking all of. Okay, here we are.
Oh, good. Lovely. Always got to fix our cams and our mics on every level.
Exactly.
Happy
Thanking
new
all.
moon.
Okay. Oh, here we are.
Oh, good. Lovely. Always got to fix our cams and our mics on every
Guess what I'll do
level.
is I'll turn mine down.
Please pardon me. Can you hear me, Casey? Always
Can you
gotta
hear me?
fix our cams and our mics.
Unfortunately,
Like an echo.
doubled up. So I'm going to turn it down.
Can you hear me, Casey?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I'm just turned down my Mac. I'm wondering if I have it. Let me just see if I can turn off.
Can you hear
Pardon me, folks.
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
I just turned down my Mac. I'm wondering if I have it. Let me just see if I can turn off. Pardon me, folks.
I can hear you
I'm
now.
trying to figure out which audio to turn off, to not make it come through a second later. It could be on your end, since you're the generator of, because I don't have YouTube up at all. Do you happen to have YouTube on a second screen? Because I can't hear you now. I think you just leave up the Zoom. I could be wrong. I can check.
Okay. Did it stop?
Because it stopped and I can hear you perfectly now.
Ooh, I'm so sorry, everyone. That was like a weird echo
It's
chamber.
fun. It's fun to check these out. And you know what? I'll just do like the quickest check just to make sure we're live. So we'll just be quiet for 1 second. It says there's 7 waiting, and they're waiting for us now, actually on the channel, which is fun. I love that there's 7 folks there, and that's just on my latest. I just popped over to it just through my iPad that's right in front of me. I will check on my phone.
Of course.
Is anybody saying anything in the chat? That's what I always do.
Oh,
I'll just let them know.
I did put something in in the chat over there.
Okay, so I don't see anything. So maybe that has to do with me. Is anybody responding in the chat? Because I
I
don't
saw
see.
some people in the chat when we were in the echo chamber.
Okay, so it's got to be on my end that I'm not seeing it real quick. I don't want to delay anyone because we got some hot cards here for everybody. So you hold tight, my loves. You just hang in there, grab something lovely to drink, and I'm just going to check it out. So it says here that they're waiting for us. You can see on my phone here, love.
Huh. Oh, yeah.
That it's not open through there. So I think the thing to do is to go into your manage videos on YouTube. And then if you just end up being the only one that's on, if we can't manage to zoom it through, don't worry about it. But I know we can do it through Zoom. I think it's about the Zoom.
I think it's about the Zoom, but I don't know why it's not connected. I think it started a new live stream is the issue.
That's what it is. So this one is still waiting to be occupied. If you go back to it and when you manage videos.
Yeah.
Or we can throw the link to this one in this chat and tell these fine folks to meet us over there, and we'll fix the
sure.
And we'll fix the thumbnail later and all that stuff. It's no big deal.
Let's do that.
Okay, sounds amazing. And I'll just say hey to everybody in the chat.
Okay, cool. Hang on, I'm just going to mute myself. So
So we are on right now on your channel. It just has a different thing. So we're on. There's tons of folks in the chat. It's awesome to see you. Casey and I are having a really good time in this Mercury retrograde and all the planets retrograde moment. I know Casey's here now.
Hello, I'm back. Sorry, I'm just chuckling because it is such a Mercury retrograde moment. But you know
really
what? We're
is.
riding the waves. You got to just roll with the hiccups sometimes, in my
Well,
opinion.
you're riding the waves, and I'm also like riding that sweet breeze through those gorgeous trees that were behind you in the premiere video. Did everybody like the invocation video? It was absolutely beautiful to see your home in the mountains and to welcome you all to my home at the ocean.
Oh, yes. I loved how we wove those two together. And thank you so much to Peter for his support in making that video possible.
So incredible. We're so, so blessed. There have been so many folks in service to this magic in this moment. And thank you so much, Peter. I'm able to see the chat a little tiny bit because it's a bit at a distance. I hope you're here with us, Peter. We're going to be pulling cards for folks and having a really lovely moment for our new moon. And of course, folks, it is so special to have all of you over here at the Emergent Amazing New Modern Witches YouTube channel. So welcome to YouTube once again, Modern Witches. This is awesome.
It's good to be here, and it's so nice to be connecting with you all in the space under this extremely potent new moon. So even though, we're tangoing with Mercury craziness, it feels like the timing is so right.
Love the tango. Sweethearts, I hope everybody's got something lovely to drink, and burn it if you got it in every way that you love. Casey and I are going to take a moment and strike our match and light our candles. I, of course, have a black candle for many reasons. We'll talk about it in our live stream. I'm so excited to be here. What a beautiful, lovely moment to light this candle and alert our spirit guides that we're here, we're open, we're listening, and we're ready to receive the messages that are meant for us. How lovely. Oh my goodness. So beautiful.
It's black candle season for sure.
It really is. Let's see if I can't show that nicely on our set. If not, I'll bring it back to me. Gorgeous. I'm in love with that hearty, beefy candle that you got, Casey.
I know. I really, when you're looking for a magical, I was looking for a taper and I couldn't find one, but then I found this black jar and it was like calling me into a larger spell service magic. So
I loved that.
As the tools do sometimes.
Did everybody love in the video how Casey was adorned in our natural magic? The glow, the candle between the red leaves, the exploration of mystery in the golden leaves, the birch bark. Oh, give it to me, Magick. Give it to me.
Well, it's so lovely to be, this is my second autumn in Mount Shasta. So it feels so lovely to kind of just relish in it as someone who, is from the Bay Area and doesn't get too much of that seasonal shift. It's such a blessing.
So many blessings in this project and so many blessings in this time, even though we're all feeling that really staccato specific tango that you were talking about with this Mercury retrograde and Mars nuttiness and so many shifts, so many changes. And you can run but you can't hide. We feel it in our body. Our bodies are divining rods for all of these energies, and this is why I just absolutely live to share the beauty and power of magic, because we have the way, the language, the ability to embody all these energies with our gorgeous craft.
Absolutely. It's funny you bring up the word or use the word divining rod, because I was just thinking about that, how this moment really feels like very divinatory or oracular in nature.
Yes, it does.
Especially like a new moon is so potent for that type of work, but
So
especially
true.
with Mars lighting up and being kind of charged up by the sun and the moon right now, it just, there's so much motivation for our magic right now, which I'm really feeling blessed by.
Tell me about the motivation. I like that. It almost like harkens to fuel. And for us, like right literally in front of my house is this catastrophic and horrendous oil spill that just happened over the weekend. Literally the day or two after I got all of my footage at my beloved ocean. And so this feeling of motivation and fuel and energy to move us towards our emergent visions is something I'm so interested in. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm ready to go to school.
No, I mean, that is such a beautiful symbol for kind of what's going on in the cosmos right now, because Mars symbolizes our fuel, our fire, our motivation, our drive, our passion. And, you know, Mars has this kind of quality of being associated with war and like anger and these sort of really harsh negatives. But it's also like our power at the same time. And there's so much that we can reclaim about our power at this time. But it's interesting you bring up the oil spill, because Mars being that fuel, and we also have Pluto aspecting the Mars currently. And Pluto is the underworld, and it is like literally bringing up from the depths the oil, the fuel, the Mars impulse, which is so fascinating.
I'm thrilled that you brought that up. The newest theory, and things are developing as all of the suits and the oppressive systems that create a fossil fuel environment, dependent environment that we live in, are all scampering around right now. So there's many ideas about what happened with this oil spill. And the most current idea is that the vessel itself ran over its anchor, pulling up this sort of like energy,
Wow.
uprooting, unearthing, and pulling up our rootedness. It's just super interesting. You know, of course, I'll be looking for like the Washington Post and the better, you know, more direct and clear, you know, real news and science as it goes, because we witches love science and believe in science. But I think the energy of this idea of yanking that anchor out is fascinating. It astonishes me that there's a 17-mile pipeline that connects my city with another beach city up the coast. And we're still living like that, really, you know?
It's wild.
So go witches, go witchcraft. Keep following the energies of the truth as it's unearthed, the science as it's unearthed, you know? And I say that as a person who regularly casts wonderful spells that are based on old Celtic traditions, that are really like witchcraft you see in the movies. I mean, I'm having a seance in Patreon tonight. You know, I believe in those wonderful traditions and science, and there's room for that in witchcraft.
Absolutely. And there's so much about that's being kind of confirmed about magic by science these days, which is really important to kind of highlight here. I know that when we talk about like quantum physics, you know, quantum physics is confirming multiple timelines and multiple realities. And I think magic really thrives off of that kind of concept of the cosmos and consciousness and all of that. Like we weave worlds and we can bend and shape consciousness.
Mhm. I can only listen to ideas about quantum physics as like the person in the front row that would love to like shine your shoes while you teach me. I love, love, love learning new things, but I know in my body that I exist in multi timelines. I know in my body because my body tells me how I dream, how I sleep, how I need to rejuvenate, how I need to worship the past, how I need to listen to my body in its subtle signals and its sensual signals for how to exist with the outside world. I know that science is real, but I do love listening to scientists and folks that know what the fuck they're talking about. Multi
For sure.
timelines, yes, please.
Yes, please. Yes, I know that Sanyu, who's going to be teaching at the Confluence, will be
Cannot
talking
wait.
about multidimensionality, which is going to be mind-blowing.
Yes, please. Can't wait. And you can tell that when you hear their music too. You can
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of feel those multi worlds emerging. It's like they're opening themselves up to tell the tale, this ancient and future tale. It's gorgeous.
Hmm.
There's a
I'm
lot of
wondering,
powerful folks that will be teaching at the Witches Confluence.
extremely.
So we're going to be pulling some cards today, and we do have a very magical announcement specifically about Modern Witches Confluence that we're going to save to the end. We're going to do our best to like show you a little shoulder and shimmy shake and tell you to stick around because we truly have something very, very special to announce that's happening exclusively through the Modern Witches Confluence on Halloween morning.
Oh, we're so excited.
So
Cannot wait to reveal. But would love to hear if folks have questions out there. We'd love to pull cards for you and just generally hear how you're feeling under this potent new moon and what your intentions are.
Yes, sharing intentions. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really set a core intention yet. It's mostly about the groundedness that it takes to be holding space for others that are summoning messages from their deceased loved ones.
Yeah.
For messages specifically for them from their ancestors. So I'm working on just being really grounded. I took a wonderful like salt scrub shower and I'm just like in the peace and calm, hanging out with Juniper right over there, little sasser. Doesn't like to be on camera anymore. How dare. While you shuffle, I'm just going to take a peek at our chat through my other little device here.
Oh, yes, please.
And just say hey to folks. How's everybody?
Thank you for bearing with my like limited knowledge of live streaming, everyone. I'm really happy to be here and I'm figuring it out as I go.
Well, welcome. It's awesome to have you on YouTube live streaming. It's a powerful way to live stream. It's one that encourages folks to chat. YouTube is a search engine. And when you speak in the chat and when you spend time here, YouTube translates that to the world. It shines it outward to the world so more folks can gather with us in this way, which is lovely. So I'm just going to say hey to folks that are here. Juliana, it's so awesome. Cassandra, Angela, oh my goodness, thank you so much for being here. Jackie's here. Hello. It's wonderful to see you. Hi, Elaine. This is lovely. Joanna, I love you so much. There's someone here with the name Scout, and I'm tickled by that.
Ooh.
Thank you so much. And Robert, you're here. I'm assuming that you're in Ireland right now. Thank you so much for being here. It's wonderful to see you. Hi, Victoria. Wow, this is awesome. Do you know Scout?
I don't know Scout, but I love that name.
Me too. So good. So thank you so much for being here.
Welcome,
It looks like we might have some questions coming in. Victoria is saying hello.
Hello,
And I
hello.
think in order to keep us as like ordered as possible. Maybe we could choose like a lovely emoji that folks could put in the chat with their name next to it if they'd like to have a card pulled for them. One thing that's really, really important is subscribing to the Modern Witches YouTube channel and just hanging out here, like the video, because that's a really cool digital footprint that is just so gorgeous. Picture yourself when you're smashing that like button, your feet landing like Casey's in the water, a little splash and the mud between the toes and the crackling of the leaves. So smash that like button, cuties. It's a big deal. It's fun.
It is fun.
So what do you think would be a cool emoji that's easy for folks? Should we do a simple red heart?
Yeah, red heart.
Love it. And then please state your name. And if you have a specific question, that'd be awesome. Robert, I'm so happy to see that you're here from the north coast of Ireland. I absolutely adore being in space with you for this last season. It's so special. I started seeing you in Hot Witch Summer, and I take that really seriously. Welcome, welcome, sweetheart. Hot Witch Summer was like Hot Foot Witch Summer. It was a burning sensation. I was just hopping all over the place, growing, learning, changing, having sight from like my feet. Do you know what I mean? Sight from my motion and movement. How was everybody's Hot Witch Summer?
Wow, that was such a summer.
Such a hot foot, right?
Yeah, it was deep transformation summer.
I know. Bring it on.
Yeah, more to come, y'all. More to come.
Exactly. So I love to break the deck into 3, as is tarot tradition, and then also pull from the center of the deck. The physical sensation of pulling the cards is part of the reading for me. Casey, do you have any tips? Because there's lots of tarot readers in the chat and folks that are tarot appreciators in the chat. I love your gorgeous deck. You know, Casey's the creator of Wanderers Tarot Honeys.
I'm so excited to be pulling cards with you all. And I cannot, nerd out enough about tarot with folks, but I also cut the cards 3 times. And I also just take a note to just feel into, before I choose the card, really consider what images and what feelings I'm feeling in my body, what's coming in through my clairs, because sometimes you know what card is going to come up. And whatever comes up in your body before you see the card is also information, like Angela said.
Yeah, information is sensation, so listening to our body isn't an afterthought at all. It's actually the driving force. And it's just unique because the body, my body, is such a shared body. Because I'm going to be 56 next week. And so I've been around, I'm proud to say. And I'm also one of 9 kids in a big, like, Irish Catholic family. And so I'm right in the middle of that family too. So I share sensations with others, but yet because of the way that spirituality was so dogmatic in my childhood, there was a lot of stillness. We were meant to stay still. So I've had to unfurl the messages in my body through time, that it's okay to move around.
Absolutely. Sometimes my daily practice, I take my tarot deck with me in my pocket on a walk, and I'll walk around and think about what I want to ask the cards and then just pull it right out of my pocket.
That's fantastic.
And it's nice to not be just like static and sitting. I think we sit a lot as people these days.
Hello.
So just, if you feel like getting up right now, please do.
Absolutely. Carry us around. I'm sure most of you are on your phones.
Yeah.
I'd love to believe you're all just like, have us on the big screen. We're ready for that.
Yeah.
Temperance is with us. We love you dearly, sweetheart. So why don't we pull a card? Robert has the first red heart in the chat, I believe, unless I got that wrong. It's so just wonderful to see you, Temperance. Are you in Liverpool today, honey? Or just mostly all the time? Oh, it's so good to see you, sweetie. So why don't we both pull a card for Robert? They don't have a question. They just have a wonderful red heart. Right, easy pull right from the center. And you have pulled the death card with incredible high style, Robert. The
And
death
the Fool.
and the Fool.
Wow, Robert.
Robert, should we just fuck it? Just turn this thing off and go over to your YouTube channel? Are you the reader? What's happening here? This is amazing.
The
We've
cards
gone
are
from
wanting to speak.
13 to 0. I have a keyword right on my card that's transmute. So this is about whatever was deemed bullshit in the past is actually the food for this future blossoming.
Yes. And I'm really getting that Mars, the Martian influence, is really showing up as the Fool for you. There's this sense of like you're starting off on a new path with this beautiful compost. That's the little kind of nugget that you're carrying with you. You're in your spirit satchel as the Fool, taking that with you onto new horizons.
Incredible. I love your Fool card. On Moon Baby Magic Tarot, this card has adorned on it the waning gibbous moon phase, where you can release expectations of yourself and others. We also have the color magic of yellow, which is about celebrating and communicating. Any ways that you have old ideas of oppression want to be seen and let go right now? How are you oppressing yourself?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, that's good.
I'm just noticing we have 2 dogs here showing up. So that just strikes me as I'm seeing the moon card with the 2 dogs. The death card might be, symbolic of maybe what's conscious for you that you're consciously letting go of. And the Fool might be that dog of the unconscious, the wild dog that's leading you out into the wild unknown. So I see some very potent dreams coming forward for you.
Wow, incredible. This is actually a photograph of my deceased, first animal familiar in my life. This is my pup Bindi. So I'm that witch. I'm not afraid.
This is my dog Roscoe.
Are you kidding me? This is
I'm not. My familiar.
Incredible.
Robert, do you have a familiar? I would love to know who they are, if you do.
No kidding. I would love to be in Ireland over there right now. So Robert says, oh, wow, I'm so excited. Love these cards, my darling witches. I'm so ready to start new ventures. Thank you, my beautiful angels. I totally get this. Thank you, witches. So appreciate being appreciated, because we still spend a lot of time, and I know there's witches in the chat that go through this, having moments of being burned at the stake. Yes, we're superstars in October, but there's lots of other times of the year where people have to slink to us by the cover of night for the care that we can provide to community, and then have to deny us by the light of day. So there's a lot of things about witchcraft and witches where in this time in October, it feels really nice to be openly celebrated and see little babies with witch hats on and little old ladies celebrating their magic brew and their intuition.
Oh, truly, truly. It's so, there's a lot of privilege that comes with this day and age, being a modern witch and being able to gather with you in these virtual webs and share our magic this way. And I'm just so grateful for that.
So I am really excited to say that Cassandra Solano, MSW, the Change Doula, has a brand new, gorgeous, I guess you would call it, moniker. I have not seen the Change Doula with your name yet, but I know that you are, and I've been seeing your transformation. Cassandra Solano is a powerful healer. They are a trained licensed therapist and life coach in many ways, but it's far beyond, because they bring ancestral magic and a relationship coaching ethos of just incredible magnitude to their practice. But I'm excited to see the change doula written right on here. Gives us a red heart and says, what will support them in their next stage of evolution? Well, this is going to be nice. Thank you for being here, Cassandra, and really like owning your magic right now. Like, I'm loving it so much. Casey, would you like to pull the first card for Cassandra on this one?
Sure. I just pulled. We have the 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Stones for you.
Ooh.
So it's interesting. I feel like this is a real time to like look at everything that has fruited or ripened in your garden, and make sure that the things that you choose to continue to nurture and bring into the light and bring into form are things that are really going to nourish you back.
I love what's happening in the combination of cards, because Cassandra, you've got the 3 of waves with the keyword collaborate. With your 7 and 3, you've got a full group. The 7 says, don't pick the fruit too soon. Let it ripen on the vine. And the 3 says, have healthy communication. So there's a way that there's this quality of listening, this quality of supporting, surrounding, and letting those sugars develop, letting the sweetness come in.
I love that so much. Definitely get the sense of some kind of like calling in and honoring of the collaborators that you're working with in your life currently. And sharing some sugar with them. I love that. I see like a sugar spell, sugar magic.
Ooh, I love that. Well, you have a lot of sugar in your ancestral magic in your background, Cassandra, and learning more about that publicly is phenomenal. It's been amazing. And just what a splash today. This change doula moniker showing up in our chat is powerful. It's a spell, believe in your magic. When we pull waves, everybody's got a drink. So raise your glass, cuties. Anybody have a guess what I'm drinking today? You'll never guess it.
Is there cinnamon in there?
Absolutely not. Way more trashy than that. It's literally the only thing I had in arm's reach when I was running around today. Cactus cooler, babies.
Wow, I love a cactus cooler.
You need to get yourself teenage roommates then.
Yes, I do. Takes me right back to high school.
Literally, I'm going to have orange teeth in just a second. So Cassandra, well done, honey. This is an exciting time for you. Sweetening your collaborations. You've got that first quarter moon reminding you it's about divination. This is about the work that you were born to do, the magic that only you can cast.
And I do want to say too, with the 7, there's this energy of like being in your mystical expansion and being in all of the feelings of that, like the contraction and the expansion that is necessary for your growth. And finding some way to feel like delicious about that.
You know, I'm more out about my rootedness in the Mother Peace Tarot, because that's the deck that blessed my life really, really deeply as a younger witch. The Mother Peace 7 of Pentacles, I guess you call it, discs is what they call it, is like a last trimester, look of being naked in the field of watermelons. And yeah, you could give birth to that baby right now. Is that really the lungs and the brain that you want to bring into the world? Just ask yourself that if you're feeling like you're forcing anything.
Blessings on your transformation. Yes.
I'm kind of loving seeing the Robert and Cassandra combo on that.
Mm,
So
thank you for
looking
the
at our
question.
little chat, I know that was a great question. So Temperance has a simple red heart, and then Victoria. Robert's saying they're happy to be here. That's wonderful. Oh, yes. Oh my goodness. I love the chat. I love you folks chatting with one another. Thank you so, so much. So I think it might be my turn to go first for you, Temperance, dear heart. You're wonderful. 10 of lasers. Keyword evolve. I'm loving this because I do see you in an incredible evolution right now, but I'm bratty like that. I get to see you all the time, dear Temperance. Temperance, you use your good to shine a light out to others. You might be the most giving person that I've never met in real life. This is about you firing up your own passions right now and what really works for you, and you being others focused is such the core of it. Yeah, this moon phase is about your very own spells and what you're manifesting with the energy of your life, the passion of your life. You know, the 10 of lasers, aka 10 of wands, has like a sassiness to it. So don't be afraid of your anger.
Oh, I have to just share what I pulled because it fits so beautifully into what you were saying, which is the Empress.
Wow.
She's showing up in a sassy way. She's showing up reversed, but I think that like really speaks to, you can see the cypress trees in the background here that kind of look like flames.
Yes. I do.
I think there's a message here too, what Angela was saying about focusing on your magic and the spell that you're bringing forward into the world. It's beautiful that you have so much care and compassion for other people. And that's what makes you such an empress. And the empress needs as much nourishment and care and luxury kind of gifted back to themselves in order to be really fully in their power. So that's something to consider. Maybe this new moon is really about self-care in a very Venusian way.
Agreed. It is a Libra new moon. And
Hey,
Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is radical. I'm so, so lucky to have more intimacy in my coven, my worldwide coven iteration of it called the Witchcraft Club over on Patreon. And something really new for me, I'm feeling into that. I was having a conversation with somebody talking about Venus in my coven over there. Venus is radical. Venus is money, sex, the garden, all of the arts. Okay, not just the cute ones, you know, the brambly part of your garden, the radical part of your garden with pollinating going on. That is a raw sexual experience. It needs to be wild. It can't be perfectly manicured in just the fluffy part. We love the fluffy part too.
You know, the ancients too, you know, I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but it's feeling prescient. They used to think about Venus as like a planet of justice and of judges. And Inanna, the goddess, the Babylonian goddess, who would descend into the underworlds. That energy is really coming up for me in this reading. The need to descend into your power in this really righteous, radical way.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing like with your reversal with that Empress, I'm seeing like the fingers that plunge into the soft, warm soil in order to plant the seeds. It's like you don't lay those seeds on the surface. You drill a hole first with your bare body and make an impression. And then you gently place the seed and push the soil over it. It's very sensuous. It's very physical. So really like feel your body, feel your pleasures right now physically, And if anything is showing up that looks or feels at all like you're talking shit to yourself, you can just notice it and release it. You don't need to talk shit to yourself about talking shit to yourself, if that makes sense.
Totally makes sense to
Just
me.
notice it and just say, wow, I learned that. It's an awesome time for me to unlearn that. You can kind of use that spice and that energy to forge and drill and impress new area where you're planting seeds. Very cool, Temperance. Wow, what a blessing.
Wow, serious blessing.
So Victoria's next, and I'm just taking a peek. It looks like Elaine's got a nice question. Oh, they say they don't have a specific question, but they love a card. That's fabulous. And then Jenny's here. Jenny Sherman. Hi, it's nice to meet you. You'd like a card? Lovely. Welcome. Yes. Oh, this is great. Great questions. Thank you, Sarah, for being here. This is so nice. How lovely, y'all. Okay, so rolling back up really quick. And it's your turn, Casey, to pull a card first for Victoria. Such
Does
a
Victoria
gorgeous
have
witch name.
Yeah, no question, just a card.
No question that I can
Okay,
see. I'll double
lovely.
check.
Juicy heart.
I mean, the most witch name, Victoria Wellspring. You kidding me right now?
Beautiful.
It's
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
So Victoria, we have the 5 of Moons coming through for you.
Ooh.
This is deep magic. This is the 5 of Cups. This is about your vessels and how full they are, what you've been filling them with, and how you can honor anything that has felt messy or difficult for you recently. This is not easy. These are not easy times. And there is a lot of grief to be processed. So if that is part of your new moon moment, try to find a way to honor that. Even just, I can see you putting cups on your altar and really like filling them with delicious, delicious elixirs, and making them as an offering to your spirit, to your ancestors. Remember that whatever has spilled, whatever has been broken, can be repaired and can be transmuted.
What a gorgeous reading, Casey. Oh my goodness. There's something really feral about your deck because it's unique. I mean, of course, the moon does move our waters of our body, and it's so wonderful that that's your cup symbol. And feathers is your wands or fire symbol. It's just awesome in the way that it's like this completely new take. No doubt about it, that 5 of Moons is about grief. And it's about being active in it too. Like, let it be physical. You have also pulled the 5 in the Hierophant or Hierophant. Everybody says it different. So this has a key word, which is a phrase called emotional intelligence. This is about you not having to be the boss of your emotions, like every minute, Victoria. Really be a child to what your experience is. Because remember, new moons are for initiating new ideas, and new moons are for laying your burden down. You have a right to have burdens. It's part of the earthen physical experience of being alive. And you can't be the boss of your emotions all the time. I love these cards working together.
Me too. 5 energy.
Oh, come on now. I mean, the 5s and the 10s that are happening through this, that are 10s and 13s, are just like, wow, a lot right now. I'm loving this like group vibe. I just permission to channel in this moment. I believe that Modern Witches channel here on YouTube is going to be a very, very big thing. So the folks that are here, the gathering that's here, the way the 10s keep showing up, it feels like this is like this sort of initiatory group of people that are here to lay this foundation with you, Casey. So I just had to say that.
Thank you all for being a part of it. It does feel like a blessing.
Victoria, you've got the waxing gibbous moon phase showing up for you, showing that kind of like this like invitation that's a little louder than an invitation. What's an invitation? It's an alert on your phone. It actually has haptics. It buzzes and it makes sound. It tells your body to calibrate your magic. Just move things around a little bit, honey. Tonight would be a wonderful night for you to just sort of wipe everything down in your apothecary. Just wipe down all those yummy witch bottles and tools and things. Okay, honey? Let's get a fresh start. Fresh out.
Absolutely.
Fun.
Yeah, I just want to say too, like this is the moon phases here. We have the new moons here, as well as the waning moon period. And so I think it is echoing what Angela said, like laying your burdens down feels so right. Let go.
Oh, so great. Wonderful. Elaine is with us, and we get to pull a card for Elaine now. No specific question, just wants a card. I love that. Open, loving, fabulous. My October friend. You've got the Seven of Caves, keyword ripen. Now, we had the Seven of Pence show up for Cassandra Solano.
Mhm.
And now we've got the Seven of Caves, which is my version of the Seven of Pentacles. And so how fun, Casey, remind me what your pentacles are called?
Stones.
Stones. I love it. Caves and stones. Wow, Elaine, this is lovely. So lots of pumpkins in the new moon, you little show off, you magical spirited show off. You literally pulled the card that embodies this exact moment. It's fantastic. And it gives me the energy of tomorrow too. It's like you have this extra delicious long day today of happiness and magic. You might want to offer to do some readings for folks. I don't know what kind of divinatory tools you have right now, but this could be a neat time to show the world what you got, your world, your version of showing the world what you have, Elaine. You're very magical. And you're in an initiation right now, no matter what. No doubt about it. This blue field is about speaking your truth, and it's about your ancestors, your ancestral magic. Where were the witches in your lineage? I'm very curious to know.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's interesting. You said initiation. We have the Nine of Feathers here, which is the Nine of Wands in this deck. And this card for me in the Wanderer's Tarot is very much about celebration and celebrating your worth, celebrating your value, and like really honoring that. And it's almost like you've been through this initiation and now you're like fully stepping into like the transformed person that you've become, and you're able to speak your new name out into the world. And it's such a beautiful time for you. And I hope you can really just like celebrate it.
Yeah, there's no denial in the Nine of Wands, none at all. Nine of Feathers. It's about wearing your scars as really gorgeous adornments, your experience, the way time and magic has marked you.
Put on your witch's hat.
Yes. Oh, this is one of my fave cards, though. Isn't that the best blue, Heather? That vintage so blue
with the pumpkins.
Come on,
so good,
so good. So after Dear Elaine is Jenny Sherman. Would love a card. What's going on to get me out of my exile, isolation, displacement? Bring it, Magick.
All right.
Exile is a heavy duty claim, and it's the first thing that you said. Am I wrong? Isolation and displacement. That's a lot. The core of those two really heavy terms was isolation. There's a spaciousness. Isolation speaks to open area. I'm excited to see what Spirit has for you. Let's see what Casey has.
It's a big time for you. It's a big moment. You have the Judgment card coming through for you.
Oh, well.
So it's interesting. I'm seeing sort of like you in a cocoon of some kind, and it's a dark night of the soul. But it's also bejeweled. Like have you ever seen the monarch butterfly pods, the cocoons? They're just like look like gems. There is something that's crystallizing for you. You are being asked to return and call back parts of yourself that have been fragmented or fractured throughout your life. And that's really hard. It's not an easy process, but you're calling those parts of yourself, parts of your spirit back, so that you can be whole and like a phoenix, rise from the ashes.
Going from fractured to fractal is coming through, like letting those fragmented and fractured, broken parts shine in the light to show the new facets, the new way that you're kind of emerged. Wow. The 6 of waves, more waves. Gotta hydrate, sweetie. I'm telling you, everybody, raise your glass and drink. If you don't have anything to drink on a new moon, have a little talk with yourself. So the 6 of waves keyword is expression. So expressing from that emptiness is really hugely powerful. I recommend copious amounts of poetry, copious amounts of like whatever your version of like a Hallmark movie is. Does that make any sense? I don't know where you are in the world, but like the playlist that stokes and gooses and brings forward your emotions. Poetry, poetry, poetry. Write all the bad poetry too. Really express yourself. Feel and express. The place where the feeling is, express from that place. I'm so glad that you brought up the monarch butterfly, cocoon, and the way that it literally looks like a crystal with points. It's just such a beautiful, gorgeous image. Thank you for that, Casey.
I think I just want to say thank you for bringing forward your cocoon and bringing it into this space, because you're not alone. Beautiful.
Thank you, Jenny. Jenny gave us a really special heart too. I don't know how they did it, but it's like a heart that has a shape in the center. It might be the medical heart. Oh, and wow. It reminds me of a faceted core.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there, Jenny. You're not alone. You said that so perfectly, Casey. Thank you. That's funny. We're talking about isolation and saying you're not alone. These times are just
wild.
It's comedy, really.
Truly.
All right, Juliana, it's your turn in the hot seat, cutie. Here we are. I'm so glad you're here, sweetheart. Well, look, the Judgment card just showed up 2 times in a row.
Wow.
So, without a doubt, you're in a place where you really need to like set down the boundary, like plant the twins in place of your feet, get direct eye contact with what you need to like make that clear to, that energy that you need to make it clear to. I can't wait to see what Casey's card is, and then we can riff on that. Your keyword is mutual aid. So it can't just be you doing all the giving, Juliana.
I got the Judgment too.
What?
Yep.
Juliana.
Wow. This is a big moment. I mean, the thing that comes to me is reintegration. And I think, you do have new boundaries and new roots that need to be kind of like incorporate it into your being. I see like you're grafting on, when you graft fruit trees.
Mhm.
So there's something really beautiful that's like alchemized for you. And it's about really full on accepting it,
Mm.
whatever it might be. It could be a really difficult thing to accept. But there's a lot of beauty that can come from fully accepting all parts of yourself in this moment.
Yeah, you're not doing it wrong. There's just there isn't a wrong. There's just a way to observe the way you're doing it, and knowing you have an invitation right now to step with all of you into this new boundary, right? This new binding spell that you're casting with yourself, your own ideas. I love this knowing that we constantly graft on new ideas of what we're fruiting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And trust that. Trust that you have to experiment, you have to try new things, that you have to put it out there a little tiny bit. It's when you pull a major arcana and they have two witches right here in a worldwide enactment, pull the same card. Trust that, enjoy it, and know that like you're working in collaboration with energies that are in the world that are present. And it isn't about making a judgment call that something's wrong or right. It's just being here for yourself.
Discernment.
Great word.
I think too, I'm getting a really strong pull to say to you that it's a great time to petition like a deity or an ancestor. Like spirit is here. Spirit is ready to work with you. So don't be afraid.
The color on this card, I was really distinct about some of the colors in the cards, and this was one of them. It's called Oxblood. It's very like about like youthful passion, and the full moon is adorned on this card, reminding you to like celebrate your life exactly like it is. You're not doing it wrong. Beautiful. I love what a journey that was.
Serious journey.
Next is Sarah Bradshaw that says, hello, gorgeous people. Wondering about the energies around my upcoming move. Thank you. Okay. And you're welcome, Sarah. Welcome here, sweetheart. And welcome home. Oh my goodness, moves.
Moves. Big things.
Ouch.
Ouchie. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So we have the 9 of Moons here for you. It's showing up. This is typically how I see this, but it's showing up upturned, which is interesting. I think it's asking you to kind of clarify your wishes and your dreams and your intentions for this move, for this new space you're going to be inhabit. I see you kind of like metaphorically or actually creating some kind of crystal grid in the new space that actually like anchors your joy and your happiness and your enthusiasm or your motivations, whatever you want. Put that into something that's physical and anchoring so that you can always return to it. Because sometimes when the 9 of Moons comes this way, upside down, overturned, we can feel ambivalent about our intentions. And we just need a little witchcraft to help us sort it out.
Yeah. I love that witchcraft with all of the yummy bells and whistles, like ring some bells. Like if you feel like you're kind of like slogged down, that wet blanket feeling, like which box to pack first, it's ring some bells, get some sound magic going. And the card that you've pulled is the Queen of Waves, Inner Life. So water times 2, everybody drink, raise your glass. The Queen of Waves keyword is inner life. So this is a really deep experience about your move. You have a lot of hope attached to this. I can see and feel it right here. I kind of love this call that you're making in this move. Like you're doing this kind of like in that majestic way for the greater good of the entire circle. I can see that energy, that potency to it. Remember to love yourself extra right now. It's a really important time to do a lot of self-soothing. So put those in place before you move. Maybe have like a little love bag that just has a few things in it. Maybe like a little silk scarf that you can rub on your face. A delicious little like squeezy pouch of like apple saucy fruit. They make them now that don't totally look like they're baby food, but they're baby food, right? A nice little bit of water, a little tiny vial with some peppermint in it, ways that you can connect with loving yourself and mothering yourself.
Yes, this is a big move for you. It's very emotional. So be kind to yourself and try to hang on to the hope and the joy of it.
Beautiful. It's very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a deep end of the ocean moment for you. I love that, Sarah. Thank you for sharing yourself with us.
Yes, thank
I'm
you.
just going to be that witch that's looking at the time and seeing how we're doing. I feel fabulous. I've got time. I've got nowhere else to be. And I'd really honestly would not want to be anywhere else. And it looks like we get to pull a card for Joanna and then Jackie, precious angels that are present with us. I love it so, so much.
Lovely.
Joanna loves talking about moves. There's so many folks in this circle that have moved lately. It's not even funny, including Casey.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
Joanna in their new place. You've got the Ace of Caves. It's really interesting. This card's coming up right now. The keyword is treasure, simply adorned with the symbol of our worldwide coven, the simple single copper penny. Joanna, you have been with me since my first moment on YouTube on Luna Nate's recommendation, and you have changed my life in every way. I love you so much. You deserve that same energy and reflection back on yourself. Ace of Caves, it's really about your new home, your new dreams, the whole reason why you moved. And what you really value is just being really bathed in your own love right now, which is just so awesome. So congrats on that. I kind of like just want to say, I think you're going to have the best holidays ever. It just came out.
Juicy. I love that.
Okay.
Echoing that ace, we also have the 10 of pentacles.
Oh, wow. Another 10.
10 of stones. So it's interesting, like to see the ace, like the potential, the gift, and then to see like the fruit of that in the 10 of pentacles. It seems like you're really establishing something very deep. The term like you're becoming like your own ancestor, or you are a good ancestor. You're stepping into that like ancestral wisdom and sort of honoring how you can pass on that wisdom. Feels very potent and exciting. There's something very like earthy and crafty that's coming through. And also some just like message to enjoy that and enjoy what you create as well as creating and enjoying the process.
When I first fell in love with you, Joanna, you sent me a recipe for chili that my family like begs for now. That
Amazing.
10 of pence, that 10 of stones with this delicious like simplicity of the intention of the Ace of Caves is just so about a really happy family. It just is.
Totally.
So lovely. I hope this feels right to you, Joanna, because it just feels like I want to come over right now.
Definitely.
I need it. Jackie, lovely. May I please mention Jackie is the creatrix of Edis, Magia, Mehex. I think I said that right. They have a beautiful, beautiful new Instagram account where they have this reverence for these wonderful little crystals that they very rarely sell, but sometimes do.
had obsidian fangs on their Instagram account yesterday. So Jackie, feel free to put that in the chat if you'd like to gain some more followers over on Instagram. But come on, obsidian fangs. I'm almost 56 years old. I've never even seen such a thing. It was the best day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So what's your card for Jackie?
All right, my card for Jackie is the star. So beautiful. I feel like there's some like really beautiful visions and dreams that are coming through. And I hope you're really taking the time to feed them, to give them love, give them your awareness, give them your space. Like building space in your physical space for those dreams and visions to take root. Feels like it could be super nourishing for you on this new moon. I hope that you feel resourced and that you can take some time to really dig into that and what that looks like. I feel very excited for you with this star energy. This star goddess is like hovering over you and really blessing your work.
Beautiful. I love your artwork so much. That's one of my favorite cards in your deck. Jackie, next time you come over, like, let's play with Wanderer's Tarot. If you don't already have the deck, it's beautiful. It's got this heftiness and it leaves so much room for your own magic in it. But I love the detail in that card. It's gorgeous.
Okay.
So Jackie, baby, the Queen of Blades is here for you. The Queen of Blades is reminding you that, like, in the way that you are rejuvenating yourself in the star card, you're also kind of like showing all of us how to be there for ourselves, how to care for ourselves. So your self-care is literally this potent spell, this potent incantation that travels through all spaces visually for everybody to see and feel, right? So there's a little bit about visibility in this card. There's a little bit about being seen and being clear with your words. And when you feel disordered, if there's any chaos in that, it just means you need to just ramp up your rejuvenation practices, especially bathing yourself in whatever you like. That's moonlight, that's gorgeous words, that's whatever you call your rejuvenating practices. Special keyword is lucidity. So this is about having a clear mind. So when you feel that chaos or disorder come in, take those moon baths.
I would definitely say, like, it seems like you are inspired, and it's a great time to feed yourself more inspiration. One of my teachers says that the best protection is inspiration.
Oh, ready to see that quote. What do you call those? Inspo quote? I don't know what.
Yeah.
T-shirt?
I mean, my teacher's name is Kabele, who is out of the Reclaiming Collective up in the Bay Area, and they do a lot of stone work, energy work, dream work. And that, to me, that has changed so much about the way I think about protection. But I think it feels really
one more time.
So the best form of protection is inspiration.
Oh, that's incredible. Jackie, I'm loving that. Thank you for that, Casey. Beautiful card. So after Jackie, let's see what we got going, sweeties.
How is everyone doing?
It looks like Stephanie Huff is part of this.
Hi, Stephanie.
Did I say that right? Or did I get mixed up where we are in the chat, darlings? It'll take me just a moment to catch up, but it's worth it. So hang tough. I'm loving it that everyone's chatting with one another. It's fabulous. That's always a really nice thing to get mixed up in the chat because it's so powerful. Guess what? After Jackie is Stephanie and then Scout. Yay. We couldn't be more excited about that. 2 J's and now 2 S's. So Stephanie, this is for you. I think that Casey's going to pull you a card first.
Okay. All right. Stephanie, we have the Goddess of Knives. So this is Queen of Swords energy we just had. She's here. She's ready to speak her truth. So the Goddess of Knives here is very much about like knowing when to set new boundaries, knowing when to draw the line, and also knowing when to kind of reserve yourself and protect yourself. So there's something coming through very much so about like self-sovereignty for you, on just really drawing your power back and communicating that sense of strength to the people who really need to know how to show up for you.
Ooh. I love that. What a gorgeous reading. Stephanie, you've got the 9 of lasers with the keyword character. This is a powerful card for you right now. Lasers are my idea of wands. And so this is like a powerful energy that you kind of surround yourself in, lasering out from the source of you, from your character, right? How are you doing with your moral code? How are you doing with your moral compass? Are you feeling like you're drawing from a place of experience? That's what you're projecting out. So if you are having a moment where you need to gain some strength, remember to source that back at the core of your values, right? Maybe it's time for you to kind of like clean up and write yourself like a little ethos or inspiration statement for what your ideas are about yourself. Maybe just get into your book of shadows and write down 9 things that you truly believe. And then you can kind of focus in that way if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And who isn't right now? This is a tough time. So yeah, this is about you knowing that what you believe in, what your ethos is what you shine out into the world. So maybe clean it up a little tiny bit. This shows a beautiful full bloom hawthorn tree. Hawthorn magic is powerful. At Modern Witches Spring Convergence, we did a really gorgeous class with Sister Spinster all about hawthorn magic. I love drinking hawthorn tea. That's kind of a splurge, but you might want to look into that if you want something special to do for yourself for the new moon. I'd love to hear your take on 9 of lasers, aka 9 of wands. Casey, no, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No worries. I think these two beautifully speak together. And when you said kind of communicating your code of ethics, that felt like such a beautiful combination of the 9 of lasers and the Goddess of Knives, because there's this sense of like being rooted in who you are and your authenticity, and not being afraid to communicate that, even if you're worried about how people might receive you. This is your time to like not care about that and just like show up in your power. So 9 of lasers, you're a strong person, and don't forget that.
Yeah, I liked when Casey was almost talking about calling in your allies, the people that you can really rely on. It's really cool. Editing. Let's do some editing.
Totally.
Yeah. And here we go, Scout. I get to pull a card from you. I'm so excited. Thank you for being here. 5 of lasers. Keyword is disenchanted. So yeah, when 5s show up, you know that you're doing kind of like that big workout day at the gym. You're making that big feast and feeding many mouths. You're getting a lot done. Is it painful? Probably. Is it okay that it's painful? Absolutely. Your pain is sacred. The way that your body's talking to you, when you can recognize what is bumming you out and what you're sort of disenchanted about, or who you've kind of been disappointed by, it's good. That's how you find out where the edges are. And in this dark moon and the new moon, where we're kind of fumbling in the dark, sometimes we have to go by feel. You have to check in with how you feel about what's disappointed you and what you're disenchanted by. How are you doing? I don't feel bad for people when they pull fives. I just feel bad for how people have shamed the fives in the tarot community, like, oh no, or, just really like joy and pain are gorgeous sisters and they're here for you. They show you who you are. That's how you know what you prefer. That's how you know what you support. So celebrate how you're disenchanted and what you're disenchanted by.
I love that. Kind of goes hand in hand with this death message that you're receiving, particularly because my death card is very jolly death. And I think there's something about like really embracing this process of letting go of the things that do not serve you, letting go of the people who trigger you, letting go of attachment to like maybe that pain or that suffering or that trauma. There's a really, really potent portal that you're walking through where you're transforming. And in that transformation, it's kind of like letting go of the things that really don't support us being in our true selves or being in our full self all the time. And that it goes for people who don't respect your boundaries. And that goes for people who kind of create a similar negative emotional response every time you're around them.
They're teaching you.
Yeah.
You got to believe what you see. And there's a movement and there's emotion in both of these cards, although we can curl into a ball and just try to protect ourselves from these emotions that come up when we know we're transforming, when we know we're going through like an experience of negative emotions. But you're being invited to be in the physical dance. So like really fire up a couple of your really good songs that remind you of your resilience. This isn't my channel. I was just going to say a couple of songs that are really fierce for me. I love the LCD sound system. They have a song called How Do You Sleep? And it's like 17 minutes long. And it is a bop, like crank it and move, shake your ass, move your body, move these emotions, get the blood flowing and move these emotions. Fun, Scout.
Fun, Scout, indeed.
I mean, look at the last two cards together with our S's showing up, looking like dizzying eyesight.
Yes.
Don't be afraid to go to bed super early tonight or stay up all night long. I know that I just did that, and that's okay. Yeah. Like, just go with it. It's your life.
Do what your body wants.
Should we pull a couple of more cards here?
Sure. Who else is here? Who else is wanting?
It looks like Jerry is requesting a card, and maybe Jenny too. Did I get that wrong? Oh, so no, it's Jerry. It's folks chatting with one another. And then there's a really wonderful name that I don't want to get wrong. Crecentia. Beautiful. That's lovely. So we will go with Jerry and Crecentia. And then Deborah's here. Love pulling a card for you. Aw, thank you so much, sweethearts. And that looks like it could be the wrap. I'm not totally positive on that. I don't have the greatest eyes in the whole wide world, but Jerry,
thank you.
Got a card for you. I think it's coming from Casey now.
Okay, Jerry. Okay, so we have the Philosopher of Stones here, which is Page of Pentacles adjacent. Here we have, someone who is going through this process that requires a lot of patience and a lot of time, and the process of incubation. it's okay to not know the best way forward. It is okay. And you might need to really pull inward and resource yourself from the inside, rather than seeking external validation at this time. The answers will come to you, and you might have to move into the unknown. But so long as you stay grounded in yourself, you will be okay and you'll be safe.
Okay. I'm just feeling that need in this moment, Jerry. I'm physically feeling like it's beyond the card. I'm definitely going to pull you the card, but I'm feeling the need. It's like this very emotional experience, and it feels on the heavy side. It feels kind of lovely, kind of epic. The Fool with a new moon adorned on the card. Remember that, like, there's no such thing as too old. There's no such thing as too late. You're always called to begin again. We renew ourselves. It's the huge mystery of what we are as creatures. It's such an honor to be so closely bound to Modern Witches, especially because I'm so honored to be the FemmeCee this year.
Yes.
And the mystery, the theme of being welcoming mystery is just so wonderful. It's very brave. And in this moment, when we pulled the Fool card and I felt that channeled experience right before I revealed the card, it feels like this idea of accepting that we constantly renew is just up for you right now. It's an invitation for you right now. There's no getting there. You are there. We're there. We're doing it. We're alive, and that's the goal. That's the greatest mystery of them all. That's the dance. And in this life, in being alive, in loving, there's always death. And we're literally born from death. We are everything that's ever been, everything that is now, and everything that shall be. It's dizzying.
Really.
It's enormous. And remind yourself to be playful and have fun with it too.
Yeah, don't doubt your magic, Jerry.
Yeah, so beautiful. So much to that. I can't wait for Modern Witches. I can't wait for our Confluence this year. It's going to be so wonderful. I know. And there'll never be a bone in my body that's in denial about the energies and what's present. I know that people are going through things right now that make it both welcoming and terrifying to be in digital spaces. We have been through a lot. I will never, ever, ever bypass how intense it is to be gathering digitally while half of the world is doing like music festivals and going crazy. It's just all over the place right now. And so know that there's this wonderful, intentional, open space waiting for you at Modern Witches Confluence. Give us a little black heart in the chat if you're coming to the Confluence, if you've got your tickets already, and if you're excited about it. There's more than 18 workshops and some special surprises. Is now an okay time for us to give our special surprise, or did we have one more person that we're going to pull a card for? Who was it that was going to be after Jerry?
Crescentia.
Oh, Crescentia. Yes. What a perfect.
And then we will reveal.
Good. Is everybody ready? Crescentia, what a gorgeous name. I love how you spell it. You've got the Seven of Lasers, aka Seven of Wands. Not the first time we've seen this card come up today, right? Did we see the Seven?
Oh, yeah. We have seen this.
We might have started with this card early on. You've got the full moon on here and like a really hopeful, vintage, modern idea of a fireplace doing the most ancient thing ever, burning stuff, you know. The key word on this card is fortitude, Crescencia. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. It's important that you know that, taking the time to be proud of your efforts is essential, really, because it doesn't mean that just because you're proud of your efforts means that it worked out the way you wanted it to, or, you know what I'm saying? There's no guarantees. You just have to be so proud of your mettle, mettle, your strength, your ability to kind of like carry on, you know? Fortitude is like having that energy in the face of challenges, keeping your energy going. This color magic of this card is about endurance and love and ambition. So you can't let the world knock your ambition out of you. I know it's confusing. I know that there's a lot of different ideas about how to be right now. Be with your ambition, you know? The best way to do that is by taking time every morning and every night to be quiet within yourself. I love journaling for that. I believe in journaling for that.
Beautiful message. It's interesting. We have the Two of Knives also coming through for you. And it is showing up overturned. However, let's talk about how all the ways it can show up for you. I said, don't doubt your magic before we pulled this card, but I want to say it again. Don't doubt your intuition. If you feel like you're at a moment at a crossroads where you have to make a difficult choice, believe in that like resilience and that fortitude that Angela was talking about, because that is going to carry you through this difficult time, this space where you might feel pulled in many different directions. It's okay to not know the way forward. Again, the mystery is really creeping in here. The unknown is a space that is actually fertile for exploration, and your intuition can guide you through that.
Amazing. How do you feel about that, Crescencia? Are we saying your name correctly?
Yeah, I would love to know.
I hope so. I just took a moment to pop over through another little digital portal. Just want to remind you that Modern Witches Confluence is completely virtual, so you can access the recordings live, or for whatever you need, you can access them later. You'll be able to have access with them for at least a period of time, up to a couple of weeks after the Confluence.
Up until December 1st.
Oh, that's amazing.
Time.
Oh my gosh, the whole entire season, you have access to all of these beautiful teachings and experiences. And so, show up for yourself in any way that you can. It's literally, I mean, if you pencil it out, it is the most affordable way that you can have access to these incredible teachers.
Really?
And the presence, the feeling, the magic of being with witches in our high witch season is so, so special. So I'm really excited on Halloween morning to unveil to you right now a really gorgeous conversation that I'm having with two really precious folks that I really, really treasure very deeply, that I've had a relationship with for many years now. I met them actually through Jackie, who's been in this chat. I have been very lucky to have in real life magic with folks. And two of them I'll be in conversation with. One of them is Maritza K. Rubio, who is an author and an incredible person, who's the creatrix and founder of the Makara Center for the Arts. And the other one is Daniel Weitz Carrington, Leonora Carrington's grandson. So we're going to have a conversation that's witch relations. How is it to be in magic space with folks? We're going to speak a little bit about our love of tarot. We're going to talk about our own ancestry.
I'll be talking about my big Irish Catholic background and what that looks like to be in my Celtic magic and the way that that is accepted and not, the way it's comfortable and not. Maritza has a new gorgeous book called Maria Maria that's going to be, it's on pre-sale right now, and they'll talk about this book of short stories, which is unbelievable, beautiful. And then wonderful Dan Veitz Carrington will be talking about how they are pulling their creativity through with their amazing lineage of being Leonora Carrington's grandson. So we're really proud and incredibly honored and excited to have them on Halloween morning before we get started with all of our workshops. So that'll be 8 a.m. Pacific. So folks from all over the world can access. We'll have about a 45-minute conversation. It is a bring your cat to coven enactment. So literally bring your kitty to coven. I will have Juniper there. I'll probably leave bloody with scratches, but I'll have Juniper there. And Dan's kitty Mercury will be there. And I think Marisa might have 2 cats right now. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be an amazing time. So thank you, Casey, for being open to this conversation. I'm so excited.
Thank you. This is such a treat. And I am incredibly excited for the conversation. I cannot wait to bring Jasper into the convo as well.
Do it. Yeah,
And
there's amazing things happening for both of those artists right now. Dan is the curator of the Leonora Carrington estate over on Instagram, and they've been doing these wonderful challenges with different pieces of art of Leonora Carrington's, their grandmother, their beloved grandmother. And people from all over the world are stepping up and making gorgeous art from that. I just can't wait to hear Dan talk about how that showed up for them. Also, Leonora Carrington's Milk of Dreams is literally the theme of the Venice Biennale for 2022. So it's just, I can't wait to hear all about that and what it feels like for Maritza to have this lifelong ambition come to fore with their book, Maria Maria. So it's very exciting.
Art is magic.
Big time. Witchcraft is art. Big time.
Yes. And it's such a delight. I think, for everyone here, it's such a, I'm so excited for you to be our witchy wayfinding FemmeCee.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be so fun. And you hold these spaces so beautifully and make this witchcraft so accessible for folks, which I think is such a joy.
Thank you so much, Casey, for seeing my magic. And just, I know that Modern Witches Confluence was always an in real life thing. So it's no small thing that you've been able to pivot and adjust and be here for the available energies for witches to gather virtually. This is really, really a generous and beautiful thing for you to do. So thank you.
Of course, we're so excited. It truly is like this beautiful force field that gets built up that weekend with everyone attending. And I always leave feeling so inspired, which we talked about earlier, but also hopeful in a world that can feel really disheartening most of the time. So if you need to refill your cups, please join us.
Yeah. We'll be encouraging folks, just like we did in that video, to really be in a body. It was with incredible intention that we took giant bites of the apple and really were in that radical act of having a body that needed nourishment, and the magic of being witches and biting apples together. Nothing better than that, right?
Nothing better than apple magic.
Casey, can you share things that you would love folks to be, alerted to that are going on for you? And I'd love to do the same.
Yes. So please subscribe, follow us here. We have these gorgeous interviews that we've been releasing every week with previous teachers. They also are available via audio on our podcast, Modern Witches, and you can get that wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
Excited to explore that medium as well. And as always, this magic is collaborative. So we would love to hear from you, what you want more of, what you're curious about. Let's do this together. You can join our coven. We've just revamped our coven program. So we're offering a quarterly membership to all of our winter workshops. We have a winter solstice gathering, we have a midwinter gathering, and then a spring equinox gathering, which will all be virtual. We are continuing our virtual spells.
Awesome.
So join our coven. There's like plenty of space for us to gather in this way, and we really enjoy it and would love to see you all there.
Amazing.
And come to the Confluence. It's going to be amazing.
It's
Can't
going to
say
be
enough.
so amazing. I'm super invested in the coven, in Modern Witches Coven, so into it. It's a blast. I wish I had a little bit more time to be in the Discord conversation, but that's going on over there in a really cool way. Just since spring, I've just kind of launched my newsletter, Love Notes, which I'd love to have everybody subscribe to. It's super easy to do all of that on Instagram in my little links right there, and subscribe to my newsletter, Love Note, because you'll receive a PDF as like a welcome. That's 9 journal prompts that were born from my guest appearance on the wonderful Between the Worlds podcast. I got to embody the 9 of Pentacles, aka the 9 of Caves card, which has been absolutely fully and completely life-changing for me. So thank you so much to the folks over there. And yeah, subscribe to my newsletter and join me over on Patreon in my Worldwide Coven Witchcraft Club, which is just all these places I'm just kind of like feeling into in a sustainable way. Because it's really, really, really important that we do work that can keep us going, you know, and not drag us down. Like you said, Casey, there's so many challenges in the world. You know, magic sustains us and holds us up. So it's so good to see everybody here. We had so many more folks gathering with us live, which is so awesome that I could have ever imagined and dreamed of. Come see us at Modern Witches Confluence in those days surrounding Halloween. And we just adore you. Thanks for being here for the premiere too. That was a lot of fun.
So much fun. Thank you all so much. My heart is full.
Oh, cuties, I forgot to tell you, I'm having a seance on Patreon tonight. I think I have 7 more places because I got notifications during our live stream of folks that are joining us over there. It's at the Sacred Sweethearts tier. And you are very welcome to join us in this small gathering of folks that are seeking messages from their beloved loved ones from beyond the grave.
A beautiful time to do it.
So special.
So special.
Have a wonderful
thank you so
day,
much.
everyone.
Bye, Angela. Such a treat
Bye,
to be
Casey.
with you as always.
Thank you so much for everything. It's been an amazing experience.
Truly.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Happy new moon.